at NIT Agartala, and my branch is electronics and communication. But I'm really passionate about computer science. I will be interning at Google in the summer of 2022, which is starting from May this year, and I have also cracked a few internship offers at Amazon, MathWorks, LinkedIn as well. So yeah, that's all about me. Aman, you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you
Yeah.
for letting me know. So yeah, I mean, my next question was like, how do you feel like being here as a speaker, as a part of a event Trek the Hill, like organized by us, and like, is it your first time as a speaker, and are you feeling nervous about it?
I actually feel really great about being a speaker at NIT Raipur. So, as NIT Raipur is a really good college, obviously, at least better than mine. So, yeah, and no, not my first time being a speaker. I have spoken with various occasions, so not nervous at all. Yeah.
Okay. Great to hear that, so that you can be frank with our audience as well. So yeah, so
Sure, sure.
yeah. So like personally, I feel like really great to talk to a person like you with such like great achievements by theory itself. So how you feel about your own achievements, and like, do you think that you have accomplished everything, or there's more thing to come to it?
So, I mean, there's not a very philosophical answer about this, but what I would say is that no, I have not achieved everything. I do feel good about my achievements, but the truth is that till the moment that I got the results, I was not sure if I'll be, able to get it or not. I mean, we have this kind of, fear that are we prepared enough or not. So that is in my case also. Like, I feel I'm still learning, so there are a lot of things that I have to achieve, and yeah, obviously this is not the
I
saturation.
mean, it's
That's
like
what I feel.
to success there is no infinite, like till infinity there's no definition. Everyone has their own definitions.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
To better things.
Yeah. So, I mean, as a kid, like all others, like what you dreamt of becoming like as a kid, what you are and what you are today, do you find any difference in between those two things?
So I think there was this thing that I did really good, that I never felt a particular path for me, a particular thing for me that I have to do this. So this made me really flexible to go in any direction which I wanted. So yeah, but yes, I really wanted to be independent very fast. As a kid, and I mean, I wanted to start earning as soon as possible, and it's like I started earning from first year itself. So yeah, I think that is something I was able to do, so I feel a bit good about it, that I was able to do it.
Just a second. I guess we have some problem with your bandwidth. Can you just check it once?
My network issue is I
Yeah.
don't think there's a network issue from my side.
I mean, it's
Is it
saying that.
better now?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
If there is any issue, just tell me at any moment, I'll just try to fix it.
Yeah. Sure. So, I mean, how you would describe your college life? Like, was it just okay, okay, like nikal liya, like that kind, or you enjoyed it?
Uh, See, I was just in campus for 5-6 months at max. So I was not able to, like, I mean, 5-6 months is, just like figuring out, okay, how this thing works. And, we were not able to do even one fest, or, when I was not able to attend any single event, which was like really good. So I won't say that I had a very fun college life till now. Then 2 years were online only, so did not enjoy much. But hopefully, I'm going next week, so maybe this time I'll be able to enjoy. So there was not much that I was
I
able to
mean,
do it.
like the part of college you attended offline and the part of college you attended online. What was better till now?
Obviously the obviously the offline thing was way better, because you get to live with friends and all. Here, 2 years, since 2 years, I'm just in my home sitting and coding, nothing else. No break from this life. But in campus, it's like very much better. You get to have friends. Even if you study, then you get to have that kind of break, So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that phase.
Yeah. So, like going ahead, like also talking about yourself, like are you a like front bench kind of person in class or a back bench kind of person? Like not judging, but overachievers are like mostly front benchers.
Yeah, I totally get your point. So I was mostly a backbencher because I was not into too much into classes and all. I feel I mean what am I saying? But yeah, that is the 2 point. I just used to go and I just used to sit on the last or second last bench. So when I started college, I was sitting on the first bench. Then slowly, when I don't remember when I moved to the last
I mean,
bench.
that
It was
happens to
like
almost every one of us. Like, I initially also
so.
started with the first bench, and then I realized that's not the bench for me. I should go back.
Actually, when I entered college, so I was like, I should change my branch. So I was into electrical engineering. Then I was able to change my branch, and then now I'm into electronics and communication engineering. I was not able to get CSE, but I was able to get EC. So I was thinking that I have to change my branch. So I should sit on the first bench and then listen and absorb whatever the professor is saying. So in the first sem, the topics were somewhat related, like what we had studied in JE and all. But slowly I understood that okay, this is not for me. I should just sit at the back bench, and then figure out 1-2 days before the exams what to study and not. And that approach also worked well in my case. So yeah, that was the transition from first bench to last bench.
Okay, okay. So, I mean, like you were good at studies from in like initial days of college, like, or you just like excelled during this particular lockdown.
Good at studies means good at my core subjects or good at
Yeah,
coding.
I mean, both. Like you can take both the things.
Okay, so for good at core subjects, I was not able to get what the teacher is saying. I mean, I never honestly listened. If I would have listened, I would have surely imbibed something because I'm a good learner that way. I'm able to understand, but I never even paid any interest to that. So I was like, okay, I will do it 1 week before. And I was able to do that. So I was happy that way कि मतलब जैसा चल रहा है चलने देते हैं एग्जाम तो हो ही जा रहा है कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. So I was that kind of person कि एग्जाम हो जा रहा है तो फिर इतना क्यों लोड लेना है कि रोज रोज पढ़ो. So I was not studying daily. Then कोडिंग तो मैंने बिल्कुल नहीं की फर्स्ट ईयर में बिकॉज कोई अवेयरनेस तो नहीं रहती है ऑन कैंपस. क्या ही अवेयरनेस थी लाइक आपके टाइम पे भी देयर वुड हैव बीन नो लाइक जीरो अवेयरनेस की ऐसा कोई स्कॉलरशिप प्रोग्राम होता है एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट व्हिच आर हैपनिंग नाउअडेज.
Yeah.
WTM पता नहीं क्या क्या. I mean I had no awareness. So like when lockdown happened, then I thought ki, like let's explore, and then I studied web dev, then I did an internship in that. Then I found about LinkedIn, and then I started growing on LinkedIn. And after that this was at the end of first year that I got an internship in second sem mostly. So after that I got to know that we should start preparing for internships because they will start at the end of fourth sem. So I knew that I had 1 year, so that I started preparing for that. So that was like the journey.
So, going on further ahead, like, what was your particular like approach to studies, placement, like core, non-core coding, like all the things when you like, were you confused like with the things what you want to do in your college in the first year?
Okay, so yeah, I'll take this point. So when I was in first year, it was like my branch was electrical, and in my college, it's like all about gate. Gate is very famous. You have to give gate if you are from electrical. If you are not from CSE, you have to give gate. So
Yeah.
I was like, "Ki, let's try for a branch change. If it happens, if I go to CSE, then I will prepare for placements in IT companies. Otherwise, I will prepare for core companies, which will visit my college, or PSUs, which will visit my college. So till then, I had no idea that very less PSU visit. I was like, there are enough opportunities in this domain. Obviously, like a fresher is always confused. They don't know much about placement stats and all these things unless they connect to a fourth year person or something like that. So I was like, okay, जो मिल जाएगा कर लेंगे. But then I got uh, EC, which is like a combination of both, which is not CSE, which is not electrical, which is like, even I don't know what it is. So it is like that. So then I was, then I researched. Then when I came back home, I researched that what are the opportunities. So I got to know that even from EC, I can get into good companies if I work hard. But there is this thing that I will have to study two branches then. So I was like, ठीक है, क्या जा रहा है? Like, let's study. We will see what happens. So then I started preparing ki, okay, like let's prepare for FANG companies. So yeah, that's when I started preparing. So I had no guidance whatsoever. I just, researched and watched videos of Aman Dhatar, Vallabh Babbar, and people like that who had, prepared proper roadmaps. Ki you have to study these topics. So there is also one more point that I would say. Roadmaps, if you just keep on watching roadmaps, they are not helpful. But if you watch just 2 to 3 roadmaps, they give you an idea that what you have to do, what are the things that are necessary, what are the prerequisites before getting started, or things like that. So that really helped me. I was not a person who is jumping from one roadmap to other. I got to know that I have to do these things, and then I started. So I was really determined that I have to grab an internship anyhow at the end of my fourth sem. Doesn't matter I'm from, not from CSE. It does not matter, or does not matter that my college doesn't have a good internship, internship season last year. So but then it happened that the first company that came to my college for internship, I was able to crack that in the very first attempt. So yeah, so I was like then happy that okay, 1 year of hard work paid off. So yeah, that was that kind of thing.
Yeah. So moving on, like further, like what would you recommend someone how to utilize their first year? Like generally people tend to spend it enjoying, but I personally think like there is a lot of opportunity to utilize and make something out of it. So what's your take on this?
So my take is that since now first year will again be offline, so there is a lot of things to explore. I mean, you can enjoy a bit, but even if you spend 1 to 2 hours daily exploring, like you can just use your laptop in night, and you can just find about the opportunities that are available to you. Then you can slowly develop that kind of thing, that I have to prepare for this, and these are the things that I got to do. You can get some idea. Like in my case, I would say I started with ML because there was a hype in 2019 that ML is something. So I started with it. I did not like it. Then there was this thing ki ab ML se your resume will not get shortlisted everywhere. There are very few internship opportunities too. Then got into web dev. I did not like it at all. So but then also I got like, okay, chalo kar lete and all. Then after my intern, I got an internship. Then I started exploring Flutter because I got an internship at Google, and it is Flutter is by Google. So I thought that maybe some documentation might help me later. So then I loved Flutter. So I was like, okay, I mean, this is what I found after in my third year that I like it. And why did I find it so late? Because I did not spend my first year exploring. So I would say if you are not studying in first year, then also spend some time exploring. It will help you find the domain you want to go in. Like some of my friends are really inclined towards cloud. How did they find cloud? It was not that they found it in the very first go. They would have also tried ML and then switched to web dev, then did not like it, then found that they are interested in more in the cloud domain. So that is what I would advise to first year, that like try to explore more so that you are able to find what you want to do very fast, not like me in third year. So yeah.
So I mean, like just wanted to ask, ML is like topics like machine learning and all this, like they are so hyped up like by college clubs and communities, but in reality they actually don't make sense.
Exactly. I mean, you just learn a tutorial and call yourself that I am a machine learning enthusiast. You don't even know math. You don't know anything. It's just too superficial. So I don't like that kind of hype a lot. So there are a lot of things that are promoted, but they don't have that kind of value really. Even if you consider in case of jobs, like web dev will, if you do web dev, you don't do DSA, then also you will get a job. But I don't know if that is the case with ML. Getting a full-time job is like really difficult. There are so less opportunities in ML.
I mean, and
Yeah.
talking about my personal case, like I switched to IoT like in second year, but initially I also started with machine learning. I read something like this topic, like gradient descent, and after that I didn't understand even a ABCD, like what is like that Gaussian matrix, what is that integration, triple integration, and all that stuff. So it's just like
Yeah, it's like people watch one tutorial and add it to their skills.
yeah, it's just the first time they write hello world and they just add there, it is there as
Yeah.
uh Tanya, yeah, okay, now it's okay. I guess there was some issue on network. I guess I was seeing it, but yeah, it's okay now.
Okay.
Yeah. So a major question, like there are sometimes when people get demotivated and things don't go by our way. Either it be like our own moral goes down or some personal reasons, cause of which we generally fall back. So counter them?
Like this happened a lot. Like things get overwhelming when, especially when in India, it's like कुछ भी तुम्हें करना है तो उसके लिए 1 साल पहले से तैयारी करो. It's not like you will be able to do it in 1 month or 2 months, let's say. So similarly for internships or placements, like you can also do it in 3 months, but if you start from 1 year before, then it will be, a smoother way to do it, a better way to do it. So I started 1 year before. Then also, there were like constant ups and downs. You don't get things sometimes in one go, and like I was not able to absorb DP in one go.
Sometimes it generally happens that we are out on like we get physically tired or like our health goes down and we just get off the track completely.
Yeah, yeah, it happened to me so many times. Like we just get burnt out a lot, and in these 2 years, I was like just studying and I did not do anything. So it's natural to burn out, and then it resulted in me taking a vacation off from my laptop for 1 month. I did not even touch it. So they're like not even touching the laptop is too much. But I was like, I cannot afford touching my laptop. It's like giving me some major mental issues. So I was like totally away from it. So yeah, these things kind of happen. And also like during the JE thing also, my score was really good, but then all the normalization thing and all happened, and I was like not able to get the college or thing which I wanted. So there was this fear inside me ki, I might do very well, prepare very well, but I might not able to get into things. So till you get that offer or till you get that mail, you are constantly into this thing that I might not get it, in a constant phase of denial, I would say. But then the thing is that you cannot control everything. So I just learned this thing that you should not worry about the situation you cannot control. So this was a really good learning for me, and
uh,
this really helped me. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so moving on further, so like now you're on to the actual stuff. Like people in first year are generally confused with the fact that like whether they should start with development DSA, like which particular language they should choose, because they waste the
Yeah.
majority of their time thinking like. So what would you suggest them about this?
So I would say in case of development, I would suggest that as early as you start exploring, you will be able to get that what you really want to do, be it web dev, app dev, ML, anything. And in case of language, I would say totally depends on, like, one language cannot be used everywhere, right? So one thing you should have it fixed in your mind, that when you will get placed, you will not get placed as a web developer, as a machine learning person. You will be placed as a software engineer whose main thing is to learn new tech stacks and build them. So you should not be too focused on one thing, that I will not do anything apart from this. I will only do front end or I'll only do back end. You should be flexible to do anything. Hackathon is a great way of doing that. If you are interested in development, you can explore different aspects, that I would suggest. And in case of language, as I said, if you are like preparing for placements, then C++ would be a good language. Like it is a concise language, not too like elaborated like Java, in which you have to write long codes. And similarly, if you are going into web dev, then you cannot do it in C++. No, so different languages for different things. So one should be flexible. That is all I would say
But
towards learn.
one suggestion like I would recommend to everyone that please don't go for like Python as a language for competitive programming or DSA.
Exactly. Python is a big no-no.
Because in our college particularly, many companies like deny that using Python is like kind of they don't allow it during the interviews or something
True,
like
true,
that.
true. I think C++ or Java, that should be a way to go. I would still recommend C++ because Java is like a bit longer. So C++ is shorter. You can go
Yeah.
for C++.
Also, we have like various concepts in C++, like I guess pointers and all that,
Mhm.
which are not there in, I guess, Java. I think so.
Pointers, then pairs.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that are not there. Yeah.
Yeah. One more question, like, what would you prefer? Like, what's your main focus in second year when you were like already preparing yourself for upcoming internship season point of view, or you were preparing in a general way?
Yeah, as I said, I was preparing myself for internship season only. I knew that at the end of my fourth sem, I will have to apply off campus. So I was preparing myself for that.
So you were like mentally ready with that thing that yeah, you're gonna have to face the interviews in the coming
Yeah.
season. You
Yeah,
were
yeah, I
not
was.
so what happens is generally people go for this startup internships or research internship. So they see their
Yeah.
friends getting placed in like these startups and all, and they get a bit demotivated and they go for this like quick startup things for internships.
I have also done that. I have done 4 internships. So in my till my second year, I have done 4 internships in till fourth sem. So most of them were like I think 2 were part time and 2 were full time. So I was able to manage them along with my semesters because my semesters were online. I don't think people in offline sem will be able to manage that a lot. But I was also in a constant state of FOMO. I used to watch a resume of a person who got into, like, let's say Google, and then he had a lot of experiences, like lot of internships. Then I would think like, okay, I'm missing on this part. Then I used to interview a lot. So I also interviewed a lot for startups, and I did like 4 internships is a lot if you consider in case of till second year. But I would, now that I've done it, and I have used only one of them on my resume, so it practically made no sense because I just did them and I used only one on my resume. So I would say that, like, doing one internship before your place internship season is good enough. If not that, then also it's fine. You
I mean,
don't need any intern.
I have particularly like seen your resume, so I mean, I still feel that I'm missing somewhere on that part. So yeah, it's like a comparison basis. Like you want to, you see always the grass on the other side greener, but you don't know what thing is actually
Yeah,
on that side.
true. True.
Yeah. So I mean, talking about like how you manage, like as you said, you are from electronics branch, so you were like initially from electrical and then you slid to electronics, and how you manage between core and like programming, like your college stuff and programming?
Okay, so for college stuff, it was like mostly like I used to complete all my assignments on time. I used to do this thing. That was the only thing I did. My attendance would be around 100% in case of online. These things were the only 2 things I did. Other than that, I was not into anything. Since it was a privilege for me because the semesters were online, I cannot really advise the people who are in offline mode right now. I don't know how they will manage, but we used to get a lot of time since it was online. I mean, you could also relate because your placements would have been online itself. So that was a thing that was a huge respite. That, okay, just log into the portal and then, okay, just keep doing your work. It's not possible now.
So
But
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was saying that still time could be managed. Like, people can do the bare minimum of 75% and try to find time here and there. But it will not be like what was with us.
So, I mean, the next question I was gonna ask is like, when you were like, the time when your internship season arrived. So, like, you were preparing like in a general way for all the companies, or specifically like, let's say Amazon came at this particular time, and you were like studying specifically for Amazon, or in a general way, like seeing all the type of questions and all like that.
So I would say that I when I started my preparation, I just did the generic preparation, which would help me in every company. Like, I did CP, then I did lead code, I did CS fundamentals. These are the things which come in every company. But 1 week before my interview, I used to just browse about that company and read as many interview experiences I can. Like for Amazon, if you read a lot of interview experiences, you will know that it asks a lot of trees and linked list stuff. So I then studied a lot on, then you can be interview like company specific 1 week before interviews, not before that, because it doesn't make sense. Also it will be really bad for your ego, because if you are preparing 1 year for one company and you get rejected for that, it will be a massive hit. Like you will not be able to recover from that, and I
Yeah.
don't want to do that. And generic preparation helps, always helps. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I wanted to ask, like, what is the proportion in which like core and non-core companies like come to college? As you said, you are also the internship coordinator at NIT Agartala. So, in general, if we talk about what's the proportion in this, in which these companies come to our colleges, what do you think, and like, what's the package difference you can see?
So for internships, I would say for internships, no core company comes, and obviously they are releasing their opening. Like you would have heard ONGC or other PSUs might release their opening, but it's like unpaid internships, and it's not an internship exactly; it's a training. So I would say that is the thing for internship. No core company comes, only IT company comes. And obviously core companies are like mostly unpaid or underpaid internships, and then in IT companies you can easily get 50,000 or more than that, so as a stipend per month. And in case of placements, only 2 to 3 PSUs are visiting the campus, and that also depends what happens in future. So not many, but and the package is also around 6 to 8 LPA for core companies. And for product based companies, I mean, there is no limit for product based companies. What is the
I
whatever
mean,
the
they
package
just
can be.
like offer like huge amounts. Generally, if it's
Yeah.
not like a underdeveloped company, they do offer like huge packages more than like 30 plus.
Yeah, if it's not a service based company, they will offer a good package.
Yeah. So, talking about like what all sources you would prefer, like when like someone starts preparing for DSA internship and placements like that.
So so like as I said, in my journey there was no person to guide me throughout. So what I used to do, I used to go on every platform, I used to practice on every platform, I used to follow every resource that I hear. And that was like so messy. But there was one thing that I stick to. I never bought any paid course, so I just stick to YouTube. And then in YouTube, I just used to go and search like whatever I want to learn. Like let's say I want to learn stack, I used to search stack playlist. Whatever comes up, I will watch that, and then I will practice, because I had learned it that theory you can learn from anywhere. The main thing is practice. When practice in DSA is the most important, so I used to follow this kind of pattern. So there were a lot of YouTube channels I studied from, like Code and Code, then Tech Dose, and like many other channels there were there. So these really helped me a lot.
I mean, personally, like talking about websites, I guess we generally prefer even like GFG, Lead Code, and like Code Chef. And for YouTube videos, which one do you prefer? Like, generally, I prefer like the ones of the Striver and
Yes, I was
that of
thinking.
like Apna College.
I have not tried Apna College. I have tried Shriver's videos. I have tried Aditya Verma's Heaps playlist, Sliding Window playlist, and a lot of other playlists. Then I have followed Tech Dose for tries, and like yeah, like different topics for like from different people I have studied. Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah. So one more thing, like I would like ask you about. I would like to ask about your experience with open source contribution and projects, and I mean, how can you choose a proper tech stack?
Okay, so like I have not done open source at all because I was into competitive programming. So I have not done open source, and I have done a lot of internships where I have like worked on web dev.
But
I think
you
that
have basically
that
not
was because
contributed much to community part.
no, no, I have not contributed much to open source, and I have worked in with like startups on web dev, and but now I have switched my tech stack to Flutter. Now I'm working mainly on Flutter. So yeah, that's about the tech stack. No open source. I've not done open source.
I mean, so why only you choose like Flutter only? Like why only Flutter?
Yeah, like as I said that I have already experimented with web dev and ML. So I was like, let's try app dev. And in app dev, I could choose between React Native or Flutter. So then I thought to like just go by Flutter because like as it is by Google, so maybe its documentation can help me how they write in the documentation in case of internship, because their tech stack will be internal during the internship, so I would have to read from the documentation. So I thought to improve on this part, because I did not know, I still don't know what my tech stack is going to be. So I thought to improve the skills of reading through documentation, because it is also really important as a software engineer to read through the documentation and get to know stuff. So yeah, that was one thing due to which I chose Flutter. Also, the freelancing opportunities in Flutter are really good, and the number of Flutter developers are really low. So they are paid really well, but I've not still explored that kind of domain. Few of my friends are exploring those domains, so I know a bit about that.
Yeah, just a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I wanted to ask like this in particular, like you have a really great reach in the community, like you have made such a great LinkedIn profile. So when applying off campus, so how your like profile helps you? Have you like received any referral in when applying to a particular company or like that?
Sure. So I would say this happens a lot. Like most of the people, what they do, they find an opportunity. Firstly, there was no awareness that you have to take referral. They used to just go on the portal and then submit their application.
Yeah.
Now that there is an awareness that you have to take referral, what people do is they just start spamming all the people who are like, let's say, an opening at Amazon is here, then software engineer at Amazon, they'll go and search on LinkedIn, then they will like ping all the people, copy paste the same thing to them. But the thing is that tons of other people are already doing it. It's because they all also got to know about the opportunities. But if you will make some personal connections, like you will have some people who you have talked to, not just on the day of referral but before it, so that kind of connection helps, because they will prefer you. Why will the other kind of people prefer you? You will spam it to 50 people, but they will have to go through 100 other messages. So I would say this thing helped me a lot. Till I did not have a good LinkedIn profile, I was in my like at the end of my first year, I got a lot of problems when I used to ask for referral for Google Step internship, because it was for second year students. But then slowly, as I built my profile, then now when I message any person, he's happy to refer me. Not only because I have a good profile, but he knows that I'll be able to clear the interviews most probably. So I got a referral very easily in Salesforce, in Microsoft. I got a referral at many places, but mostly due to because they were on campus opening, so they did not proceed further. It happens sometimes that the opening is not for off campus people, but if you have an opening for off campus opportunity and you are very well connected with a person from any company, if he or she refers you, that will also not be a good referral, that will be a strong referral, because he will have something to write about you, and that will fetch you an interview. They might also skip your online assessment round. So that is a really good thing to happen to like process. So if you know already that you will be applying off campus, I would say make one person a connection from every company. That is like a very good safe way to go forward, from
Yeah.
every well known company.
One more question, like generally you would prefer to ask people for your referrals, or ever someone asks from like, let's say I am from a XYZ company and I ask you like if you are available for this particular opening. So from which particular side you have experience?
I have experienced both. Like in the second case, I have experienced this from Salesforce, that the recruiter reached out to me. So recently on my LinkedIn profile and Twitter, I have started posting a DSA question, and every day or every 2 days.
Yeah.
So he really liked my profile. So he reached out to me that would you be interested in the SD intern opportunity at Salesforce. So yeah, these kind of things happen. If you are really active at these places, recruiters are also active there. They might notice your profile. It's not that you have to do DSA only. If you are doing open source, you are doing really great, you are learning in public, then obviously the person will know that okay, this is someone who can crack the interviews. So yeah, these things happen.
And I mean, like
Yeah.
this is a bit off track, but like during the placements, like what all things you did like to keep yourself engaged? Like I mean to say, like sometimes we code file like let's say 5 hours, 6 hours, and then it's like we don't we exhaust ourselves. So like, what do you prefer like during the breaks, or like how you kept yourself like active?
So like for this thing, what I had done is I not only do DSA, I have like studied CS fundamentals and I have studied every subject till system design. So what I used to do is whenever I used to feel that it's getting boring, then I used to revise something. Then revision is not like putting that much stress on your brain like problem solving, but it is also helping you be productive. So I had made my own notes, I used to revise them. So it's like your time is not going to waste. So I used to do this, follow this strategy in
Also, you
between.
mentioned this point of notes. Like many of my juniors, like lot of them just ask me, like, "Sir, do you have notes on this particular topic or this particular topic directly available?" So I mean, I personally suggest them like do it by your own self. I'm not gonna help them out of this. So I mean, what do you think? Like, should we help them in this particular situations? Because I believe like when I started with coding, I used to make like I used to read each and every line of documentation, and whatever I feel important, I just wrote it down on a diary or something like that.
I totally resonate with you on this point. I mean, you cannot study from someone else's notes.
Yeah,
It's what they have made from themselves. I see a lot of notes floating around on LinkedIn. While they are really good resources, but the thing is that they are for them. They are not for you. Your notes only you can make, and this is a really bad practice. You tell your junior about something. The next question they will ask is, "Do you have it? If you have it, share it with me." But the thing is, in this kind of thing, you are losing your own ability to research about something, and
yeah.
this will not help you in future, because as software engineers we have to google a lot, research a lot about a lot of things.
I mean,
So do
yeah,
your own research, make your own notes, that's it. I mean, how can somebody else's notes help you?
exactly.
Yeah, so that is something people can, like,
Also,
we
the
can
fact
suggest.
is, I believe like the current generation has actually lost their like you can say what you can say what we call it. I'm not getting the right word for it. Uh, like they don't have that patience. Like they just want to go like from the bottom to the top in one go. Like I'm not getting
Yeah,
that word. Like there's a word for that. Retention
yeah,
time.
I got.
Exactly, the retention time. So they don't have this particular retention time. What happens is like they just if there's a 30-minute long tutorial, what they do is they watch 5 minutes and they get bored. They say that it's not good, but that's not a justified way. You need to wait for those 30 minutes to get things completely and properly.
Exactly. I read something about this recently, that uh, just because you're a fast learner, this does not mean that you will just grasp everything automatically, because some things are that you have to keep revisiting them, you have to give some time to them. It's not that if you are giving some time for them, you are not a fast learner. You are still a fast learner, but it is that topic needs to settle down in your mind. Imagining someone doing DP in 5 days, is it possible? Will you call that person a fast learner?
I mean,
Obviously
I
not.
even like, I guess you just wrote a post in like past 2 to 3 days where you posted like about the same topic where people claim to crack internship or placement in
Yeah.
like 30, cracking
30
internship
days.
in 30 days.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, is it even possible? Like, you just mugged up and luck worked in your favor. Nothing else. You have
Yeah.
not got to the gist of it. It takes time. So yeah, that is also one thing that is a really good point. People are
Yeah,
not that
also
patient now.
one more thing like I wanted to discuss is like this has been a serious topic, like especially when people go in competitive programming, the major point of demotivation comes when like they get to know about plagiarism. That's a major drawback when people try to do competitive programming. Like
Sure.
every
Yeah.
like now and then there's someone like plagiarizing the code and they just get a rank higher than them. So it's kind of a demotivating for them.
I think if you one is doing plagiarism, then I don't understand that how will they cheat in like interviews? Like, okay, till OA is fine. How will they cheat in interviews? I mean, that is just another way of fooling yourself. Also, I'm telling this thing that every company, in some cases, interviewer will open your resume before your interview. If you are rated as expert or something, he might definitely raise a level of question. Why will a person ask like how to find cycle in linked list to an expert? They will definitely ask a better question, right? But if a person, like let's say for the same position, some other person who is not into competitive programming, he is more into open source, then his interviewer will ask him a standard question. Now for the same position, the bar will be higher for expert because he has put better things on the table. So now if he fails to answer the question because he became an expert due to plague, so he will not qualify the interview. But the person who has been honest, then that person will definitely qualify the interview, and the interviewer will be easy for him. So this is the thing which people miss. They are like, jaldi se expert bano, referral lena hai, jaldi se 5 star bano, referral lena hai. Trust me, I never did code chef. I don't have any star rating on my resume, but still I am able to get referrals everywhere. I am a specialist at code forces. If I tried, I will become an expert. But I am not interested in that. I'm interested in Flutter right now. So I have left that. So people have to like get this in some point, that do things that really you are benefiting from, not flag and all, which don't benefit in longer run.
Yeah. Also, one thing I wanted to ask, how you kept a balance in what do you think is one should maintain a minimum CPI while applying for placements or internships? Because sometimes what happens is I have personally seen cases in my college and my colleagues and friends where they miss major of the opportunities just because they don't have the CPI. So, what's your take on this?
So like if it is on campus, then you should think that what is your situation on campus. Like I know in case of triple IT Delhi, let's say, the CGPA which goes to the saturation is very low, like around 8.5 something. So whenever the companies come there, they decrease their CGPA cutoff criteria by 1 CGPA or something like that. Like in other colleges, if they demand 9 CGPA, they will demand 8 CGPA there. So it depends on campus. It really depends on the college, that if there are a lot of people above 9 CGPA in a college, then I won't say that bhai 7 CGPA rakh lo, ho jayegi tumhari, nahi ho payegi na, because so many people have 9 CGPA. So it really depends on the college. If like 9 CGPA se zyada log hain, to keep it 9 CGPA. Like in my college, there are a lot of people with 9 CGPA, 8.5 CGPA plus. So I also kept it around 9 CGPA. In internship season, my CGPA was around 9.3, I guess. It was 9.3 or 9.1, something like that. Now it has dropped down, but it was that. So I would say make it according to your surroundings. And in off campus, 8 above is good. It does not matter a lot in off campus.
Okay. One more question, like when we prepare for all these placements and all, there's a one group of friends that we like generally hang out with, and there's this one group where we like talk about mostly about work and all. So
Yeah.
has it helped you really, like this particular group of people?
So in during my case, I was like in this entire journey, I was alone. There were my two other friends who were from electronics only. So they are in the core domain. Like they are like attending every class seriously, taking down notes, doing all their assignments. So this kind of helped me in writing assignments. Like they used to do it before, I used to copy. So yeah, this thing I was sorted. And there was no other group this is a thing which I would say, that in my whole college, I have not found any other girl who is so much into tech and all. So I have not
Yeah.
found any other girl. And there are mostly groups of guys have a lot of groups. So didn't you used to mix up so well. So I was like mostly alone only in this tech kind of journey. So but that that was like fine, because if you are like doing peer programming, let's say, so you are bounding yourself to a fixed speed, like to their speed. But when you are alone, you can set according to your priorities. Like I have seen ki 3 लोग एक कोर्स लेंगे तो सब इतने ही लेक्चर तक तीनों लोग देखेंगे फिर they set up like a collective goal. But when you are individual, you can set goals according to yourself. So that is one thing about it.
So this point you mentioned that like there are less number of girls into coding and more number of boys into coding. Like, so why it happens? So what do you think is like limiting girls to get into coding?
I think this was like mostly because there was not much awareness about internship. So this perception कि placement to 4th year में है तो तब पढ़ना शुरू करेंगे. So I think this was also one thing. There was not a girl to boys thing too much. There was this thing, I would say. So but now I see there is this improvement, like कुछ लोगों की लग जाती है उसके बाद सब एक्टिव हो जाते हैं. So there is this thing that improves.
Like in our hackathon also, like the whole Trek the Hill event, whether it be the workshops or the hackathon, we have received a ratio of like 75% boys and 25% girls. So I
Yeah,
mean,
that is a really bad thing, to be honest. I mean, इतने सारे diversity hiring programs है. So I mean, girls should be more motivated. No, that I can get in through this or through that. I don't know. There's still a gap. I think there's still a gap. These hiring programs, I don't think they are benefiting a lot of people. I mean, I saw in the case of Amazon Wow, let's take the example of your college. I mean, Amazon Wow gives test link to all the girls, but how many girls actually have prepared for it? They just receive the test link, they are not prepared. So unless they start preparing for these opportunities, it is good for nothing. They will just get the test link and fail in the interviews. So I mean, I don't think this is getting changed at the root level. It's just that more opportunities are available.
I mean, I kind of agree to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess now we can switch on to the Q&A part. Everyone who has any questions, you can ask in the chat itself. So yeah, now let's get to the Q&A. So Raj Motwani has asked, ma'am, did you started applying for internships from second year or third year?
I started applying at the end of first sem. So, but it was like web dev internship in startups, like through Angel List or Internshala and all. But for internships in MNCs, I started at the end of second year itself, like at the end of fourth sem.
From where did you learn development?
I learned all from Udemy only.
Okay. Just wanted to ask, like, did you paid some attention on your GPA and did it make a difference while grabbing the internship?
So yeah, I paid attention to it, but not much different because other people who are selected were around 8.5, 8.2 GPA, things like that. So mine was I think the highest, but it did not make much difference because at that time there were so less people. I'm talking in case of on campus, there were so less people who were aware about or who had prepared that CGPA did not matter, but it matters in the time of placements because everybody is well prepared.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
in
I
case of
have seen
off
a number
campus,
of cases where
yeah.
there are we are given like this example by the seniors that like, let's say you are two of guys have been selected for a company, and then there's this one guy, like both of them have their coding round and interviews well gone, but then it comes at the end to your CPR. So is it a
Yeah.
reality?
I
Or
mean,
it's
I
just a
have
myth?
not faced that till now. So, but I know that this is a reality. I have not faced that, but my seniors also tell the same that yes, CGPA matters a lot.
So do internships really count for placements?
I think it's an added advantage. Like if you do an internship in third year at a good org and then you are able to convert it into PPO, then you are again free for 1 year. You don't have to worry. You can, if you want to settle for it. If you want to not settle, then you can obviously go for more or better things. But yeah, it's a good thing. If you are able to get it, why not?
Okay. Adarsh has asked, what do companies focus the most to hire you?
Depends on company to company. I mean, even Aman would relate to this, that top tech
Yeah.
companies ask more on DS and startups ask more on
Like
dev.
there are some companies like ZS and like Genpact, they generally prefer to go for analytics profile rather than going for DSA and all.
Yeah.
Also, one thing like we have talked a lot about DSA and all, like, but how you manage your like aptitude, like that's a crucial part where even after people prepare for their all this stuff, coding and all, OS, OOPS, they prepare all the things, but somewhere there are people that lag behind at this basic thing of aptitude. Personally, I was really bad at a very basic topic like permutation, I really hate them from the bottom of my soul. So, I mean, what do you think about like how can someone prepare for aptitude and all these things?
So personally, like in all the coding rounds that I gave till now, the major part was DSA only. But there was one like Goldman Sachs coding round in which the first round is aptitude. So for me, I was like since like my school life only, I was into Olympiads and all a lot. So my aptitude was really good from that time only. So I was able to do very well. But I would say for people who have not done in aptitude, India Bix is a great site to learn. They have a lot of good problems. I went through it. So the LR and everything is like really good there. They have a lot of good set of questions, and it really helped me in Goldman also. So yeah, you can go for India Bix, and you can practice 2 weeks there, and it will be mostly good.
If someone didn't understand what LR is, so LR is logistic regression.
Yeah, logical reasoning. Oh my
Yeah,
bad.
logical reasoning. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah. So actually you said LR, I just went into machine learning and that's why I said logistic regression.
Logistic regression. Got it.
Yeah. So yeah, Aditya is asking, was Google on campus or off campus? I mean, we can't reveal it, but I mean, would you like to answer it? It's upon you.
As I already told that I'm an internship coordinator in my college, so I'm not allowed to reveal my on campus and off campus.
Yeah. So sorry about that,
Tell you,
Aditya.
it does not matter at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Vandita is asking, how about blockchain? Can we proceed with it?
I have no idea about blockchain, honestly.
I mean, blockchain is something that we know that this exists, but yeah, uh, in this particular century, we are still figuring out what implementation of blockchain is. Like I have several ideas about the implementation of blockchain, but you don't know, like blockchain is something that costs you something somewhere. It either costs you like in an eco-friendly way, or either it makes you cost in a way like like you might be aware of this fact as well, I think so, Tanya, that even getting a NFT, it costs you around $100 to just get it online.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the field is good, but yeah, it's costly, I think so.
Yeah. True. True.
And
So
also,
it is. It
yeah,
has getting a lot of traction recently. Like everybody is like going be a Solidity developer. Like they are paying a lot. Obviously, the jobs in Web3 are at boom. But I would say that don't go too much, because this trend also happened in machine learning. So do your own research. Like don't like blindly go for it. कि blockchain ही करना है अब तो कुछ और नहीं करना. I mean, just do
and
your own
just
research in every
don't
field.
think that blockchain or talking about crypto and all doesn't mean like investing is a very separate thing, and
Exactly.
yeah, development is very completely different thing. So yeah, that's it. And okay, Abhinav is asking, do I really need to do some sort of code to certify know a certain skill, since online videos don't give out certificates? I mean, I believe,
Certificates are not needed.
yeah,
Interviewer will test your skills. Don't worry.
it's just a tag that you put onto yourself. I mean, in
Yeah.
my personal interview, when I mentioned about Google Cloud, the person asked me about like what are like cloud policies and like what is a virtual machine. And I was like, okay, I'm not prepared, but I can explain it in a layman term, at least what I think of it.
Yeah.
So even
So
if you
basically,
don't,
if you get a certification and then you are not able to, justify it according to what interviewer has set in his mind the standard, then he will be like, अरे इसने तो लिख दिया था कि expert है इसमें, इसने तो लिख दिया था advanced है, अब इससे तो आ ही नहीं रहा. So he sets this kind of so better है कि मतलब मत ही लिखो कोई कि ऐसा कुछ certification है.
Rakshat Soni is asking, how can we prepare for internship and how do you recommend starting for it and when?
So depends on the kind of internships you want to go for. If you want to go in startups, do web development, do do development, do open source, not web development, any development, open source and this stuff. If you want to go for MNCs, tech giants, then prepare for DSA, do give more contests, and CS fundamentals is common in both. So
Also,
yeah,
if you are looking for some great open source opportunities like the MLH fellow that generally comes in, or the GitHub externship
LFX
and
mentorship.
GSOC and all,
Yeah,
so you should focus more on the development side then, I guess.
yeah, focus more on dev side then.
Yeah. Anmol Swarnakar is asking how to find quality questions on lead code, etc. for practice.
Okay, this is a good question. So I would say that first of all, you should be like, when you study, then you obviously know that the concept is this, like stack को सबको पता है, push करना है, फिर pop करना है. But the implementation of it in questions is like very different to grasp. So very difficult to grasp. So I would say that like just select the topic stack and then do questions which have less popularity, because less popularity questions or which have less number of accepted rate, which has less accepted rate. So these kind of questions will really challenge you and give you an idea like how stack will work in problem solving. So doing these kind of random questions is very important, rather than doing standard questions, to build your intuition. So I have done this a lot, and trust me, it really helps.
Okay, Aditi Shekhawat is asking, ma'am, from what all sources you did research in the very beginning?
So obviously YouTube is the biggest source. Then there are people like Lovebubber and Striver who have roadmaps for everything. And trust me, these roadmaps really help. Like you get to know from where you can study what. And yeah, like you can
Your study source might be different, but roadmaps are like, these are the best, I guess.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, you can search anything on YouTube. It's just a single click
I
away.
mean, I sometimes I don't get it. Like someone asks it, like from where I can explore. I mean, man, you have internet. Why are you asking me? Just go on YouTube and you can find
Yeah,
every single topic. What
very
is the
true.
best way to approach a MNC for internship?
For an MNC, I would say for startups, you can still cold DM recruiters and you might get a call. But for MNCs, most of the MNCs, there are fixed time in which they hire and a fixed program, a fixed opening. So I would say keep a track, like go to their careers website and fill your email so that whenever an opening comes, you get notified about it. And then you can, ask a referral from a person working in that company.
After
And I
having
would
proper skills. After having proper skills.
having proper skills, yeah, I mean, yes, that is really important. So I recently came across this Uber is hiring for 2022 grads. So a person put up in his LinkedIn post that if you think you can crack it, then only ask me for referral. And I was like laughing so hard that this man is actually right. That if you think you can crack it, then only ask. No, don't waste any person's time or referral for that. So yeah,
Anubha
that
Satyapathi is asking, I am in fourth sem and I want to start coding. I guess you are a newbie then. So it's good to start from on now or it's late.
it's
Just a second, Tanya.
is
I guess
born.
your
So
network
started.
is, I guess there was a network issue.
No, sir,
Is
it's
it
fine
fine
actually.
now?
Yeah, it's fine now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So as I said, you can start at any time because you cannot do anything about the lost time. Start it and make sure that you set goals for yourself, that you have to complete this thing in this much time. So you know exactly what amount of time you have to dedicate to which topic. Like if someone is in sixth sem, I won't say ki go and start doing CP. I would say that do lead code. Why will you do CP? Because CP is a thing which will take 1 year to master. If you are in fourth sem, you can still start doing CP. But keep this in mind that your classes will be offline. You will not have so much time to do CP also.
Like
So
one of my friends, he is in electrical only. His name is Aziz. So he started like in fifth sem, like he started with the basics. Like he was preparing for gate electrical till fourth sem. I mean, like if someone is preparing for gate till fourth sem, they have already invested a lot into it. But when he switched into programming, like in
same
fifth
with
sem,
my friend Aditya.
yeah, then by the time like after a year when I see him, he's now a 5-star at sports chef. And I mean, the questions I take around 15 minutes, it just take like around 5 to like if I according to me 5 minutes is also too much for him, I guess. So I mean, it's just great to see like if you have a proper motivation and like a go through flow,
Yeah, true.
it should be like not a hindrance. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
How much studying is sufficient for
How much?
internships? Like how much is it different from having a proper placement?
It's not different at all. The level is exactly same. The process is like process mein ho
But
sakta hai
I
ki in
believe internships are harder to crack than placements.
yeah, internships are harder to crack. Agreed, because there is not much awareness. It is companies start visiting at the end of your fourth sem. I mean, just imagine your second year is over and companies start visiting. So for that, you have to start preparing from your end of first year at least. So yeah, it's harder to crack, but there are lesser number of interviews. Like in case of placement, there can be 1 or 2 interviews more, and the level is same.
Dipesh is asking, like, ma'am, you mentioned that people watch one video and create a hype that they are good at this or that they are enthusiasts. Like for my case, I've made 2 projects in Django. I made it from watching tutorials. So what am I supposed to do to grasp all the lines and fully understand the frameworks?
So I would say that in case, like if you have watched the tutorials, but you know what is happening around them, so that is good enough, because at one point everybody has to watch and learn from tutorials only. But it's like if you have made 2 projects, you have done a lot. It's not that you have just watched one video and claimed yourself,
बट
right?
ऐसे भी नहीं
You have
करना है
made
ना. इट्स लाइक ऐसे नहीं कर सकते अपन कि भाई तुमने एक ट्यूटोरियल देखा, ट्यूटोरियल से बस कोड देखते गए, कोड को छाप दिया. वैसे भी नहीं करना है.
okay, yeah, हाँ, अगर ऐसा किया, then it's not a good thing to do. Like if you have watched everything from the tutorial only, I think he's saying that he has took some help from tutorial. But if he has made everything from tutorial, then it's the same as like, you know, copying only.
Yeah.
Then you don't know anything behind it. So I would say you should study it from start only if you have done this.
Okay. Arpit is asking, can you tell about choosing cloud computing as domain like you choose Flutter? I mean, cloud computing is not as similar to something called development. I mean, in cloud, you almost get everything pre-developed. You just need to execute things. As far as I know, like.
Also I cannot tell about your domain, like how you will choose your domain. You will have to explore yourself. That is what we are talking about. Do your own research. Nobody else will do it for you.
What are important things to learn learn for internship and their requirements? Yeah, if it's a startup, you have to be like pre-precise your tech stacks. Or if it's like a big company or a MNC, something like that, topics like OOPS, DBMS, computer networks, system design, and DSA. These are, I think, so basics,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Ank, you are asking about Viva. I mean, I don't get it clear. Can you please specify what you're specifying through Viva? I mean, it's not going to be obviously college Viva. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Mudassar is asking what to start with when you don't have any idea what to do. Okay, this is kind of an interesting question. If you don't have any idea, how can someone start?
Yeah. So if you don't have any idea, as I said, then don't directly start with DSA because it will get overwhelming. Start exploring domains, at least 3: web dev, app dev, ML. I mean, exploring doesn't mean take up courses on it. Just follow YouTube tutorials and see what interests you. If anything interests you in particular, then you can go for that, take course on that, build on that. After building projects, then you can dive into DSA.
Okay, I get it questions what they're referring to Viva. So Dibyasha asked in it elaboration, I guess. If you didn't really study for your core subjects, what was your take on Viva? Like, how did you prepare for that? I mean,
Okay, for Viva. So for Viva, I was like, ki, matlab, my roll number was at the last. As I said, I slided my branch. So in my branch, I was at last. I was at last. So सब तक सबका हो जाता था, questions repeat ही होते थे. So fixed set of questions थे. उसमें जो समझ में आया बोल दो. So it was mostly like that. और मेरे grades कोई बहुत अच्छे नहीं थे. It was like around 8.5 something कुछ आ गया था.
man,
So
please
उतना ही था.
don't say that. I feel hurt because right now my CPI is 8.5. So that's why.
Yeah, so that.
Yeah. So
No,
okay.
no.
Anik is asking, do the certificates from Coursera, Udemy hold value for internship and placement? I believe they don't hold a value, but yeah, if you talk about the content is pretty good. I mean, content is fine.
Yeah,
Like
content is really good.
I like when you see like I am from IoT, so when I watched the video from IoT on YouTube, it's no level match to what I see on the University of California, the course they have on the Coursera. So the level of the course and the content is very, very far beyond that. So that's something.
Yeah.
Ma'am is having a good competitive programming profile, a very necessary criteria for getting internships or having an excellent command over division. Will it do fine?
Even if you do not have a very good CP profile, but you are doing lead code well, you have the CS fundamentals in place. I mean, there are different ways to get a particular internship. So it's not that only CP walo ko hi milegi. People who are not into CP will also be able to get a good internship. So it's just a myth that you have to do a lot of CP. You can do
Abhinav is
an open
asking,
source.
how do you build connection in LinkedIn? Like just ping a random person or go with alumni?
My alumni, I mean, no, I don't go with alumni. I build connections with random people only.
I mean, we
So yeah.
personally, I also connect randomly, but now when I'm going into a company, I'm connecting more and more people of that company. But yeah, I mean, I generally prefer to keep like around 1 to 5 connections in each and every company, so that whenever I
Yeah,
need them,
that
I
is
can take it to them. Like even I don't know how I came in contact with you. I don't even remember, but I don't just I just saw your LinkedIn profile, I think so once, and then I contacted you if I'm right.
yeah, that was the case. That was the case.
Bhutesh Kumar is writing, one lead code a day keep DSA fears away. I mean, I don't say that one question should is enough, because I mean one question is too less. Even if it's hard, it's too less.
Yeah, one question is too less.
If
I
you
mean,
say
at least
if it's a code chef long question, long contest question, and you take 1 day, that is pretty much justified, because the level is like you make the whole formula for each and every question, and then you take 3 days to write solution for that. That's justified. But for lead code, 1 day is very much.
that is also justified only if you are beginner. If you are already doing and then you keep doing more of long contest, then you have not developed that brain who will be able to solve a question in 45 minutes in an interview.
Yeah.
So
So
that is also very necessary.
yeah, exactly. That's why I always prefer that whenever you solve questions, do take like don't go for like many of the long contests, but rather you focus more on the
Go
lunchtime
for sure.
or the starters.
Yeah, yes, yeah,
Yeah.
that also.
Uh, is CP really? No. She already told that CP is not a big deal. But yeah, DSA, you should be aware of DSA. If you
Yeah,
know,
DSA is important.
CP is like, see, देखो ऐसा होता है, जितना मैं अगर थोड़ा सा डिफरेंशिएट करना चाहूँ तो अगर डीएसए आता है तो बेसिक क्वेश्चन सारे बन जाएंगे, बट सीपी आता है ना, और अगर तुमसे सामने वाला इंटरव्यू कुछ नया एड ऑन करता है खुद से क्वेश्चन में, देन इट बिकम्स इवन मच इजियर कि भाई तुमको 1 मिनट में क्रैक हो गया कि भाई इसका सॉल्यूशन क्या है. इट्स जस्ट द सेम वे. इट्स लाइक तुमने आरडी शर्मा
Also,
पूरी पढ़ ली है और तुमने आईआईटी जेई लेवल का मैथ सॉल्व करना शुरू किया है.
so I will also say this thing that CP really helps when new problems come. As Aman said that standard problem दे दिया तो कर लोगे, but थोड़ा tweak दिया तो तुम्हें अगर सिर्फ 180 वाली शीट कर ली या 450 वाली शीट कर ली तो you have just mugged up. So you will not be able to get the intuition. और ना मैंने देखा कुछ मॉक इंटरव्यूज में यूट्यूब पे कि लोगों ने ना क्वेश्चन पहले से कर लिया है बट उन्हें याद तो है नहीं बिकॉज दे डोंट नो द कॉन्सेप्ट. सो दे आर जस्ट थिंकिंग लाइक ऐसे कर सकते बट दे आर नॉट एबल टू एक्सप्लेन द लॉजिक. सो दिस इज वेयर सीपी हेल्प्स बिकॉज सीपी में तुम रोज नए प्रॉब्लम्स करते हो और सीपी अगर नहीं भी करना तो लीड कोड के कॉन्टेस्ट दो उसमें भी रोज नए प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं. सो व्हेन यू विल डू न्यू प्रॉब्लम्स और यू विल डू random problems which have very less accepted rate or which are not popular, so these questions will challenge you more than the standard problems like find cycle, find connected components and things like that. So तब तुम variation वाले problems भी कर लोगे in case of follow up questions.
Prince Tripathi is asking, can you throw light on IoT, what it includes and its application? I mean, she does said that she's from electronics, but she didn't said that she's a hardware expert.
Yeah, I don't know about it.
Yeah, so if you like have any doubt, we have our YouTube channel. You can search Hack Club and ITRR on YouTube, and there was my previous session on IoT, so you can watch that. Someone is asking, can we get college placements only by front-end development skills? No, that's for sure.
No.
That's for
No.
sure. Let me see some other questions as well. By preparing at the end of first year of internship, like what do you do? Find out about prospective companies or SMH?
I mean, Prospective companies, what does that mean?
I mean,
Okay, I think he's asking about the internships I applied after the end of
yeah.
first year. So in that case, I just went on to Angel List and I listed my skills and the companies which were relevant to me as a web developer. Then I just applied to them. That's what I did. I applied
Uh,
to random startups. It was not like I was searching.
Aditya is asking in how much time one can become 5 or 6 times. See, if you do plagiarism, you can become in one day. If you like be honest and do like everything like
It
hard
will
work
take
and
1 to 2 years.
like 1 year, I think so.
For
1 year
6 star, it will take 6 star. It
for
will
six
take
star.
more, but 5 star will be 1 year.
Yeah, 5 star should
Because
be.
my friend Priyansh is my friend who is a candidate master. You might have seen his YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah,
He's a
yeah.
candidate on Code Forces. So 1 year ago he was a candidate master. He's practicing daily, and now also he's a candidate master. So the shift from candidate master to master has taken him more than 1 year,
I mean, if you
and
say
he became candidate master in 1 year from
like
newbie.
like many of people have this like a fantasy that they see this people in third year college and they are by the time grandmasters or something. Like there are some people that are grandmasters at their third year. So I mean we don't have any words from them. They are just like legends. We can't say much
Yeah.
about them.
So people like Kshitij Sodani are like in school and they are in like grandmasters. So we cannot do
Yeah.
anything for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we are done with the questions. Also, the time is up.
Ma'am, I have one more question, and I guess
Yeah.
it can be an important one.
Yeah.
Like someone is in fourth semester right now, and we are expecting to get our companies on July. So, what are
Mhm.
some like checklist point you would like us to cover by that time? Like if we have
So
last 5 6 months, then what are
mhm.
checklist things that we should be doing?
So I would say DSA you should do daily, and if you have not done DSA prior, then you should definitely cover the all the basic patterns that are there, all that in all the topics which you can cover from any DSA sheet. After that, you should give contests every day. This will help you in OAs, because if your college is like a good college, then on campus companies will come and every day OA will happen for you. So that you should do. After that, you should cover your CS fundamentals, and you should have every detailed knowledge about your projects, like all the tech stack that you use, every library that you used. If you used Axios, why did you use over any other library? If you used Angular, why did you use over React? You should know each and everything about your tech stack, that why did you prefer this over this, and also what the challenges you faced. If you did not face any challenges, then make it up that I faced this and that. You should be ready with all the things. And for every project you should have like at least 5 minutes that you can speak for your every project and your learnings. If you like, you can also include teamwork in that. You can also include leadership things in that. This will help you get better prepared. So yeah, this would I would say.
Yeah. I
Thanks
just
a
like
lot.
realized that we were missing on a point. Like we will be just wrapping up the session. So I wanted to end up with this. Like if you want, can you share your resume, Tanya?
Yeah, I can share my resume.
Yeah.
Okay, but it has my phone number and the email in
Oh,
there.
damn.
Okay,
Okay.
email is fine, but it has my phone number. So
Just open the doc one and delete it.
okay, okay, wait. So you want me to share my screen and
Yeah.
then show?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Just a
mean,
second.
I just wanted to give everyone an idea like how a proper resume looks like.
Yeah, yeah, I'll just share.
Like people generally ask me questions like it should be one column, or like they have seen my ones, which is actually a 2 column. I prefer 2 column ones because it looks nice and cozy. So I mean
Yeah,
there are a lot of
mine is
doubts.
one column.
Okay.
I'll just share it.
Just let me make you co-host so that I guess you might be facing issue with sharing.
Yeah. Is it visible?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's visible.
Yeah. It's
Okay, so
visible.
mine is basically a one column resume, and this is how like you can highlight your strong points. Like I did a lot of internships, but as I said earlier, I added only one internship, because I feel that you should add you can, I mean, it does not really matter, you should add the one which you can talk very good things about. So I added this one internship. Then in all the projects I added all the links. I was not very strong on the project side, but still, like I made sure that I deployed all the projects and I know all about it. And then mostly the achievement section, in which I made all the points in bold, which were like important, so which catch the recruiter's eyes. So like I made a very good thing that I documented all my solutions on my GitHub, like for lead code and code forces. So I pushed that and a recruiter really liked it. Then in technical skills, I have not like added everything that I have studied so far. I have definitely, I know more than this, but we should add only the things which we are able
Which we
to
are
explain.
able to explain.
Yeah, so I added very less. Like in languages, I just added C++, and I kept it very minimal. And then obviously the position of responsibility section. So yeah, that is all about my resume.
Also, one thing, like how relevant is it for you? Like, did you join any of the college clubs or communities?
No, I was not into any college club or community.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of like an enjoyment thing if you want to do. Like, it's not
Yeah,
much.
but like, yeah, I mean, I did not spend so much time on campus, so I did not like get a chance to do much of that. But then I did not miss out any networking part due to the I was very being active on LinkedIn and Twitter, so I did not miss out on networking either. So I guess it was fine only. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if like people are looking for many of you who asked you were looking for some good questions, you can also follow Tanya on her LinkedIn profile. She daily posts some of the great questions over there. I guess the
Yeah.
yesterday was one was on, I guess, Linglist, na? Was it
No,
day?
it was on Cadence algorithm. Before
Yeah.
that, it was on.
Okay. Yeah, it was before that, or it was on LinkedIn, Linglist, and then it was on Cadence. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
Should I stop presenting?
yeah, you can stop presenting. So thank you, Tanya, for being here. I mean, it was really a great session, and people were really enjoying the session. As you can see, there were a huge response. Like at one time, like around 200 or 185 people joined in. So yeah, it was quite expected that people generally want to know about experience, especially when the internship is very new.
Yeah, sure, sure. So I hope this was helpful for all the people and we were able to answer the doubts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone has any doubt or want to ask her in personal, you can obviously connect to her on her LinkedIn profile and
Yeah.
her Twitter as well.
Yeah. So thank you guys. And all the best for your internships and placements.
Yeah. So yeah,
Bye
thank you once
everyone.
again. Bye.
Yeah, thanks, Aman. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you.